This piece of sculpture was carved out of one piece of wood, except for the bowl. And the chain is not part of it. We just put that on so the ball wouldn't roll away. You'll notice that the surfaces are quite different. The sculpture is painted, black, white. Those are the only two colors on it. And then we have this very, very carefully carved soccer shoe, because after all, it is a soccer player. But the detail is extraordinary. Some parts of the figure, like the legs here, are generalized. I mean, a knee is much more complicated than this. A thigh is much more complicated than this. But the sculptor has simplified it, whoever he might be. But the socks are very carefully carved. There's a chip out here, but they're rolled down slightly. And then here's an M for Mali, I assume. And then this very carefully carved shoe with the laces. But notice this piece of wood that he is standing on. We call that a self-base. In other words, it's one piece with the figure. This has been eaten away by something. Insects. There are lots of insects in Africa. My theory is that this was in the ground. This is a culture hero, an heroic soccer player, and he probably stood outside a playing field or a stadium or something of that sort, maybe even a school. And this was in the ground, so it got eaten by the insects that were in the ground, but the rest of it was not, thank heavens. If it was exposed to the elements, as I'm suggesting, it certainly is in very good condition. Please look carefully at this left hand. It looks like a gesture of blessing. The Buddha makes gestures like that. Jesus Christ makes gestures like that. It's a gesture of teaching, also of forgiveness. But here it is not. I am told that this is a gesture soccer players make after they've scored a goal or won a game. Just to your left of that, you'll see the number 9, which was his number. Then we go up to really rather delicate shoulders. If you remember the glimpse we had of those powerful legs, the shoulders are much narrower than you might expect, but they lead us to a very powerful neck like a tree. And then we come to the head. I think that's a beautiful head. It doesn't look like an athlete so much as it looks like a god. It's very composed. The eyes are almost crossed, which gives the face a very concentrated, intense expression. The nose very, very strong and well carved, and the lips very carefully delineated. The bone structure of the face is very carefully brought out, and likewise the forehead bulging in the center, with a very careful coiffure and rather large ears. One further word, one last word about Salif Keita. We don't know who carved him. Maybe we'll find out. You know, particularly as we publish the figure on the web, you are watching that. Somebody may come and say, oh, I know who did that. I've got a piece that looks a lot like that. Maybe it's so-and-so. But so-and-so, whoever he was, did not go to art school. The African system of training an artist is to make a young boy an apprentice to an accomplished artist, to a successful and generally recognized high-quality artist. And there he learns by repeating the works of the master. Now, this carver would not have imitated his master's monumental works because, as far as I know, there is not another one like this big. But he would have carved spirit lovers of the kind that I showed you before, and in that way learned how to do this. But we have to recognize that this is a major achievement. Just to carve this kind of figure out of one piece of wood without breaking off an arm or ruining a leg or whatever is a major achievement. I'm Bob Koenig. I'm director of the African Art Museum of the SMA Fathers. I invite you to come and see Salif Keita.